Aquarius, the cards have been pre-shuffled, so let's see what's happening in your love life. Wow. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Oh, the Hermit's on the board. Can I say? That one is always got something strong to say to me. We're getting along better these days, but I have to admit, Hermit's a tough cookie. All right. You see the potential of having everything, and it's not just like the 10 of cups where it's like, you see the happily ever after with the rainbows over it. Here's somebody who's sharing all these different resources. You can have it all kind of thing, but they actually, like one another. They actually get along. So this is different in the sense that I almost think I like this better because, I mean, why not? You can have it all, right? So they see the potential with it, but you see the potential of it. But you also feel like your person is, you're afraid that they're an emperor. And the thing with the emperor, sometimes, I mean, it's one thing if you like to go along to get along, but this is definitely the type of character that it's often my way or the highway. And it's not because they're unwilling to talk about things, but they tend to be kind of set in their ways, and they're at a point in their life where they kind of know, you know, it would take a lot. It would take some type of new evidence or something new to get them to change their point of view, and that can be kind of tough. But if you are all about being wide open to hearing them out, if you're wide open to whatever the truth is, even if it's not the way you want it to be, then the emperor is a great person. So, it all depends on how you look at it, you do see yourself being able to come into union with this person, even though you kind of find that aspect of them a bit worrisome. You see having the world with them. And this is what, so funny, you're kind of afraid of this emperor, and then you got the hermit here. I think you're coming up on some life lessons. I think this person has been a catalyst to you, because the emperor certainly is a challenge, but there's no greater challenge than the hermit. When the hermit is here, the hermit often is, well, put it this way, in my early days with the cards, I have to kind of go back a little bit to tell you about this hermit. The cards told me what they meant, and I can't explain it, but it was as clear as day. And when the hermit showed up, it basically told me, don't even bother with this line of questioning, because you don't even know the right questions to ask. You need more life experience to even understand what I'm talking about. So it's basic, and I could try and play 20 questions. I would try to get to this point where, well, can you give me a hint of which direction to look? But the thing is that usually this means you're stuck in some type of black and white thinking, and and what you're thinking is probably 100% true, and it doesn't change the fact that it's true, but that there's more than one way to look at something. It's sort of like, I'm trying to think of the perfect example, but you could see something as, this is green, right? But then you could put another shade of green next to it and go, well, which is green? It gets more complicated, right? Now, that's a way oversimplification, but the hermit's here to tell you that I don't know if we can see if you're ready to start figuring out what it is, but you may be stuck on some things, and you may have to live with that uncertainty if you're really interested in this person, because probably what you need to know to understand this person is something you haven't quite figured out yet. And that has something to do with your journey. Not so much, not that it's, okay, and I want you to understand something. It's not that your person is right and you're wrong and you need to figure it out. Your person may be right or wrong, but you're not even going to be able to assess it. Okay. At least whatever it is that's gnawing at you. It's going to gnaw at you until you get to the bottom of it. I know that. And sometimes you got to live life. Sometimes you got to walk away from someone and go live your life and come back to it, So I know that's a little harsh because we don't know how much life we have to live. So I'm not saying there's a perfect solution when the hermit's here, but I will say this: give yourself some patience. And if your person cares about you, then it might be better just to stay in the world of uncertainty, and just being saying, you're open to new ideas, and that you haven't even uncovered all the possible ways of seeing things, and be open to hearing what your potential emperor might have to say. You don't have to go along and agree. You can say, I'm playing with these ideas. So right now you are a Page of Pentacles, and that means you're looking at this with a childlike wonder. So actually, I like this next to each other. This is actually awesome, and I kind of like how these three play together. Wow, I actually love how these three are playing together right now. Okay, so because you're looking at resources, and that means you're rethinking all the important things, the practical things in life, not just the pie in the sky, passion and excitement, and all that love and all this. You're looking at everything. That resources can be, passion can even be a resource, but it's in the context of a resource, right? So you're starting to look at things from a new perspective, and that's probably what the Hermit is leading you to. And here's the promise of the Hermit: you can have it all, you can have the world, but there's going to be a little work involved. I'm surprised the Hangman hasn't shown up. All right. Okay. You're afraid of a Tower moment. Well, that could be a blockage, keeping you from whatever the Hermit is trying to get you to open up and understand. And keep in mind that what the Hermit's telling you might not be directly related to your person, but whatever it is will affect how you perceive the situation with your person. You are a King of Swords, so usually you're quite capable of being on your own, and you definitely keep your own counsel. You don't need to communicate a lot with everybody. If anything, you can hand down wisdom. But right now you're not feeling that, probably because this Hermit is knocking at your door. You're also a King of Cups, and that suggests to me that you are, again, very capable on your own, but in this particular case, like, you're not feeling too wise, but you are feeling like you are capable in the sense of, in a spiritual sense, in a sense of love. You are on the level. You are a king, okay? You are a boss, okay? All right? So it's not like you're a naive idiot. No. Please keep in mind that the Hermit, for me talking about the Hermit, I have to share my own stories of being able to be vulnerable and to see new ways of seeing the world. It is not a criticism. The Hermit is not here to criticize, and neither am I. Okay? But it's actually a really great opportunity. There's something that wants to bust through. And your overall energy is the Justice card, and meaning that you want to come into agreement with these things. You are agreeable in that sense, and you're reasonable, and you weigh everything very carefully. And if you're very thorough, that can also be very, I'll put it this way, Einstein just popped in my head, and I'm trying to think, why did Einstein pop in my head? Well, because Einstein, if you think about it, while what he was talking about is numbers and science, right? But it took creativity to see those things, right? So I just want you to understand that you could be completely one of the most brilliant people in the world and have all the facts and figures. It takes that creativeness to see beyond what is being given to us every day. And if the Hermit thinks you're capable of that, then that's actually it's actually more of having faith in you being at that higher level and capable of that, as opposed to being something that it's putting you down for. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Only you know what that is, and believe me, it wouldn't be a Hermit if it was something that a reader could just tell you. But I can see if I can work my magic. I used to get the Hermit all the time. I rarely get it for myself anymore. But hey, I don't know it all, and sometimes that Hermit has some words for me. Okay, oh, I already shuffled this. What am I doing? Okay, but an extra shuffle. It must have wanted one. This is the read for from your person's perspective now, instead of yours. And let's see. Oh, move this up a little bit. Yeah, so we can get completely in the frame. Yes, yes. And your overall energy is Ace of Swords. Okay. All right. Your person is a King of Pentacles. So like you with all that King energy, your person is also, I take it that you both are very, very strong energies, because look, your person sees you as an emperor too. I don't think your person is fearing that you're an emperor. They know you are. So your person knows you're wise too. So they're not going to come across as the my way or the highway type with you, because they sense the same thing in you. So, hey, how often does that happen, right? Remember in my readings, the reverse doesn't mean the opposite. It's the same energy. It's just that for you, it's more of a fear. With your person, they're cool with it, right? What they do have some concerns over is being left out in the cold by you, and I'm not quite sure why. It might be, this potential tower moment that you're worried about, right? So perhaps because they know you're an emperor, and so instead of worrying about finding that out, they actually know that about you and know that you guys could butt heads, right? If it's not handled right. Okay. But you know what? It might just be a matter of getting to know you, especially if you're going to be in that hermit mode of being open. Maybe you'll open your person up too, and you can be on that page where you can be vulnerable together. See? Okay, but check this out. I love it. Just because it's upside down doesn't mean it's not on the table. That is the best card. Your person knows that you guys are totally right for each other and that this is going to work out, but they're not quite there yet. Okay. Obviously there's some kind of conflicts going on. They're not ready to well, I was going to turn that upside down, but it's kind of pointless. You can see the picture of it. This is about starting up with some passion. They're not going to make start that gesture. I don't know if they're expecting it from you. We can look at that a bit, but there are Page of Swords. They do want to be the person who starts. Okay, but they are wanting to start off instead of with passion. They're thinking more in, they're definitely not doing a start. Now, this is not a card. This is not the Ace of Swords. This is the Page of Swords, but it suggests to me that I was just going to say, it suggests to me that they're going to come out with the Ace of Swords, and there it is. Right? They are going to start the communication, but it's going to start off in communication, not passionate. So don't be afraid if they're coming off as a friend, because that's a positive sign. A lot of times with relationships, people are very leery of getting involved because they end up in a mess. And you know how many messy people out there with black and white thinking. You can really do a number on someone when you feel brokenhearted, and maybe you're right and maybe you're wrong, but who wants to get involved and take that risk these days? That's the whole problem with that whole idea. Your person sees you as capable of going on about your life without them. You don't necessarily need anyone. You're quite self-sufficient. They see you, but they actually are sensing that. Even though that's the case, see, this is not in the upright. I'm seeing it as that's potentially so, but I think that they see room. They're a King of Pentacles. They like to believe that they have something to give you, and I think that they are sensing that you are open to not being completely self-fulfilled. That you actually want partnership and something from them, and that gives them hope that they have something to offer you. Right? They see you willing to push obstacles out of the way, and I definitely see that. I mean, on your side of things, you want to come into union, right? So your person's right about this. You definitely you want to come in from a more reasonable, practical sense of things. So whatever's in the way, whatever you're afraid of, they see you being willing to tackle it. So that's good. All right. Well, let's see what the angels have to say about it. I find this reading quite satisfying. It looks like things are going in a positive direction. And a lot of my readings, I can't be, oh yeah, it's great, you guys are going to get together, blah, 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 blah. And actually, this is my 11th reading for this week, because you are the 11th house, and I tend to go in the order of the houses. And this is the first reading that I've seen that kind of positive. And here's more confirmation of that. This is not for everyone, obviously. I mean, I can't sit here and say, it's going to be hunky-dory for everybody and eventually it's all going to work out, but it does look like this is the case for you guys, and it's, according to the angels, very soon. Okay. But religious factors. Okay, I want to remind you that while there's no worldview issues on the table, the religious factors for me has to do with, here, you know what we'll do? We'll put this over here. Let's do this. All right. The religious factors for me has a lot to do with the way you see things and the way they do, right? It could be worldview, politics. It could be about how you look at marriage, children. It could be all kinds of things. So when I say religious factors, anything that you have a strong belief system for, right? But here's the thing. Little, now, because you've met the hermit on this level, right? You're gonna rethink all these things, and I think you guys are going to be able to reach a place where they're not out in the cold like they were worried about, and you're going to get to the bottom of this, all right? Because the hermit promised you that you were going to have, the world if you get to the bottom of it, right? You just need to let life happen so that you can get to know some new concepts that will help you in your journey. And let's see what else that they have to say. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and maybe that's why you're afraid of this person being an emperor, and that's why you're dealing with the hermit. I'll bet you anything it's because you're dealing with something you don't understand, and people tend to react a little bit on a fear level. Not that you are, coming from a place of lack and all that stuff, but it's just the normal. I mean, we're not saints. I mean, we might jump ahead of it as soon as it happens and go, oh, wait, I see what I'm doing. But sometimes our instant reactions aren't anything that we have much control over, right? So, I think that's what it comes down to. You have something interesting coming your way. So I really like your reading. It says, oh, I just want sex, but I'm open to more if we really connect and I become drawn to relationship. We did notice that your person is, and by the way, when I see these when I use my cards, okay, this is not what the angels are saying. This is not what your spirit guides are saying. This is something that has been going through your person's mind, and it's not necessarily a be all and end all. It's not the overall sense of things like with the angels and the spirit guides. It comes down to the fact that, look, they want to start with communication. They are interested in it going more towards relationship, but for now, I mean, you're not going to get them, you're not going to get this person pulled into relationship off the bat. This is going to either start out with this, or you may have to start out just in the friend zone, right? And do some talking and just maybe enjoy each other's company very soon, right? But again, each of your stories are slightly different, and you have different variations. I've been telling you the cards and what they mean along the way, so that in case that your story veers off into a different direction, because I got into reading cards on YouTube based on the idea that I keep watching all these readers and I see all these other stories that they're not telling, and I feel like, wait a minute, maybe I can help you guys read along with me, and you can see your story amid the main story that I'm telling. All right. And I'd love to hear about that in the comments if that's the case and you have something to add. If you feel that this is not your story, please don't hit dislike. Please go check what energies you might be working in terms of your go see the reading based on your Venus placement. And also if you add up all your elements and what the strongest element you have, watch readings with those elements, because those you could be playing with certain elements more strongly. Okay, Until next time, we'll talk soon. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe. Otherwise...